Absolutely, absolutely. When we think about, for example, you know, this announcement about the Citadel Wallet card, and I think about the timing. I'm just wondering, Andy, because you know we're like maybe two-thirds of the way home on the hardware wallet, right? We're just poised at the point of getting ready with the prototypes out in the hands of some community members for real hardcore testing. And then this announcement comes. Can you just take us a little bit through the journey of that eureka moment when you know you realize that this is the innovation for the moment?
Mhm. Yeah, great question. When I started developing the hardware wallet, obviously I have a lot of experience and background in developing hardware products, even secure hardware products, but for completely different industries, like avionic industry, for army, for industrial applications. So the crypto was very new to me, and there were a lot of things that I needed to do my research and try to understand and learn. And during that process, things start to come up, right? When you start looking for things, doing research for one thing, on the way there, you might be finding out other things, and it's really up to you to grab the chance and the opportunity that comes to you from nowhere. You didn't even know that opportunity was there. Now, if there's a chance, why not use it? So something similar happened with this card wallet when we're developing the hardware wallet. What a lot of people don't know, the secure elements that a lot of hardware wallets are talking about, these secure elements are not new, or they are not built specifically for hardware wallets themselves. This is something that hardware wallet industry doesn't want to talk about too much, because they want to come out and talk to crypto industry who is not familiar with these technologies, in a way as if they are doing some building some groundbreaking things that has never been done before. Secure elements, secure chips have been used in banking industries and all kinds of secure IoT industries many years before. And those technologies are starting to get even more advanced, not because of just crypto or Web3, but because other industries are facing bigger problems in terms of security and attacks, and they want to make sure that the technology catches up with those new creative ways of trying to hack the systems. So the secure element is no different than the chip you see on the credit card. And that's the realization I came to when I started doing research into this secure elements. And since we're already developing with that technology, we just needed to also start looking into the form factor of that secure chip and secure element that's embedded into the card itself. So we had done almost half of the, if not 80% of the work on the secure element. And then we started requesting new samples in form of the plastic card from the manufacturer that we've been working with, to start experimenting with that too. Again, this is not something that we completely deviated from the product that we're building, but it made complete sense to at the same time experiment with this and see if this is a possible product we can bring to market as well. And once we started experimenting, playing with it, we realized that why not? This is the low-hanging fruit. This is something that's going to bring more cost-effective, not as high security as the hardware wallet itself, but it's going to be a cost-effective, easy to carry around with you solution for people who want to have a little bit more secure way of holding their crypto in a non-custodial way. And the whole idea is the card stores your private keys for your accounts. Those keys are never stored in your mobile device or your desktop computer, and every time you need to sign a transaction, you just need to tap that card at the back of your phone, or have some kind of NFC reader attached to your desktop computer, and tap in and sign that transaction. After that, your private keys are completely offline and you're completely secure. Nobody can hack the card. So yeah, that's how it happened. I don't want to spend too much time on the backstory of the card wallet, but it was a no-brainer. It was a low-hanging fruit for us, and we decided to also announce this since we have already done some experiment with the card wallet and we know it's feasible, but it will probably come later on after the hardware wallet is out, but that's going to be our new product in our roadmap.
Okay, thank you for that. And definitely want to get in a little deeper in terms of the security. But again, in even helping you with the announcement, there are some real nuggets in here that I think would be really interesting and important for the community to hear from you about, because you live this right every day, and so when we come into the AMA, we now have an opportunity, to be in right there with you. So you say that these smart card chips are highly proprietary, right? Which is true, and that
Yep.
access to them, their documentations and sample, I mean, all the things that you needed for testing, right, are tightly guarded by stringent, often lengthy processes. Yet, Andy,
Exactly.
Citadel was able to access them. Now I think, and I think this is great news for us, community. To me, it is indicative of a certain level of respect and recognition of your work in the digital security space. Um, would you care to just elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, this is a huge manufacturer that we're working it with, and when we announce the wallet, we're also going to announce the chips from the manufacturers that we have acquired to use in this hardware wallet, and people will eventually know the companies and manufacturers we're working with. But the process with this secure elements in general are very proprietary, highly proprietary components, and they're not even available in public. And going into developments of this hardware wallet, I knew that that's going to be one of the biggest obstacles to be able to actually get access to these components, because the customers of these secure elements are usually big banks who buy millions of this secure elements and secure chips, and they produce millions of IoT devices or credit cards, debit cards. So for this companies, manufacturers, it does make sense to work with these large partners, because there's a lot of development support they need to provide to these projects and companies. And if the quantities, if the profit is not that high for the company, they're just not willing to even collaborate. But I've been just following up with the company so much. I've been having meetings with them. I've been even talking to them about Hedera and telling them this is the next generation DLT platform. There's a lot of interesting things, and it's governed by serious large companies, and they could be one of the companies to be in the governance body one day once they realize the potential and benefit that it can bring to their companies. And over time, just going through NDA step by step, explaining to them that the product we're building, this is not something shady or low-key or short-term. We're building that they cannot trust us. We have to explain at every step of the way what we're doing so they can trust us with the product. Initially, just send us few samples. We tested. Another obstacle was that they didn't want to support us on the development side. So they're like, we're just going to give you the chips. If you can't figure out, then we're not going to waste time on this project because it's just too small. It's a startup project. And after a while, having the developers on our team that we have who have extensive experience dealing with this kinds of chips, their confidence started to go up, saying that we're actually not every minute going to them and saying, hey, how does this work? How does that work? In our team, we have security experts that have worked with the secure elements from the specific manufacturer we're working with. So over time, their confidence went up. We had to sign a lot of NDAs. All the communications, any data transfer is all encrypted. So you can only imagine how time-consuming and how at some points it gets frustrating too. But we know where we're headed with our product. We believe in the future of this product, how it's going to revolutionize not just Web3. And that's why we're a little bit stubborn and pushing really hard for getting access to things that normally small projects, small startup projects wouldn't get.
Wow. So let me ask you, You said that the initial tests and integration are very promising, and I know you, Andy. You are an under promiser and an over deliverer. What do you mean by that?
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of your question.
You said that the initial tests and integrations
Yeah.
very promising. What do you mean by that?
So we actually did almost I would say 90% of the testing on the card itself. Like I said, there's not much of a difference between the secure element or the secure chip on the smart card compared to the hardware wallet. And we had done a lot of the developments on the hardware wallet itself already. So we just modified some of the code we had developed specific to this secure element, secure chip, tested some of the major functionalities. Some of the main ones are secure communication with the secure element, making sure that the communication is pin protected. That's a very important aspect of the card. So anyone who gets access to your card or steals the card from you, they can't really tap and sign for you. It has to be pin protected. And also, of course, generating the Hedera account keys inside the secure inside this card wallet and be able to sign some Hedera transactions. Those are the main functions that we needed to test to be sure this is becoming a viable product. Everything after that, creating the APIs, so community mobile wallets or extension wallets, browser extension wallets, can seamlessly communicate with. Of course, that will take a longer time to develop, but the main functions that we needed to confirm, make sure that it works specifically for Hedera, those have been tested, and that was the biggest factor that we decided to move forward with this product.
Okay. Having worked with you over a number of years, I know that you are kind of developer that would never bring an announcement unless it had been thoroughly tested and it had passed your rigorous testing and requirements.
Absolutely.
I hear you on that. Let's talk about the wallet card itself. You say that it's EAL6 Plus, like the hardware wallet. I just want to know, is that because of the secure chip in the card itself, or is that a reflection of the hardware wallet that could be used interchangeably with it?
Yeah, that's for the secure chip itself. This is a very common industry standard for secure elements in the banking, accepted in the banking system as well. And EAL6 Plus is a really high level of security compared to anything else available in the market. Most of the cards, I haven't seen a 6 Plus card in the market yet, but most of them are usually 5 Plus, which are to be honest, which are still really high security. And the security is not just on the software side, it's also dictated by the protections put in place into the chips from hardware perspective, meaning the attacker and hacker are not just going to try to attack through software, through the main interface. They're going to do all kinds of different power glitching, frequency glitching, physical attacks, lasers, thermal attacks, all kinds of different ways to attack these devices. So it's even protected against those kinds of physical attacks. That's why it's called tamper-proof. And you can, once you store the private key inside the secure element, you can be sure nobody can hack it and get the private key out.
So let's talk about some real life applications for this wallet card. I mean, I picture it on my wallet,
Mhm.
and its use in terms of everyday transactions, right? Um, and giving the user the mobility to be able to, just sign transactions or on the go. Um, to tell us a little bit about what you see in the future can be done with this card.
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny when you see the card, when you see the wallet in the shape and form of a card, the very first use case and application that's going to come to your mind is payments. Uh, People have been used to this plastic cards in their traditional wallets in their pockets, carrying it with them. It's just an easy, lightweight, very thin form factor, very familiar to people who've been using these cards over the years. So to to think about how we're going to make this whole industry more accessible by everyday users, we need to think about um, bringing access to the industry through ways to which people are familiar with. And credit card size cards are just one of the ways. The biggest problem there is the mindset needs to change a little bit when you have this kind of card, when you make payments, is that when you lose this card, if you don't have the backup phrase, things like, so these are new concepts that people need to get used to. If you lose the card, you cannot go to the bank and say, hey, can you issue me a new card? This is a non-custodial card. Your private keys to your accounts are in the card itself. If you damage it and you don't have the recovery phrase, you're kind of screwed. So that's the kind of mindset that people need to get used to. And the way you would handle that, my approach would be, so my recommendation would be for this everyday used cards, if you're using for, I think payments would be one of the most popular applications for card-based wallets, even though you can sign any types of transactions you want on Hedera. Um, like DEXs, NFTs, and but with payments, people kind of need to get used to the security aspects of it. Understand there is a lot of things that people need to do research on and understand. But as there is more people coming into the field and they start learning about it, it's going to create some network effects where everybody will start telling it. Over time, it will become just a normal thing. But my suggestion would be use these cards, the cards that you're going to use on a daily basis. Load very small amounts of crypto or USDC or whatever you're going to make the payments with. Don't put your whole life savings into these cards because they're not at as high level of security as the hardware wallet itself. So hardware wallet you can use for long-term holding of your assets, large amount of assets. And then for daily transactions, you can store $1,000 worth of USDC, HBAR, NFTs here and there for your daily transactions and tap up as you go lower in the balance. So that would be my recommendation. But applications are limitless. Payments will be probably most popular, but there's so many ways you can use this wallet in the future.
Andy, when you talk about payments, are you saying that, for example, someone could take their HBAR, right, through Hashback Wallet, turn it into USDC, transfer it to the account that is that the wallet card is linked to, and then go to a Nike store and buy a pair of running shoes and tap out that way with the USDC?
I think, yeah. I think in the future that will definitely be the case once Hedera is considered a payment rail like Visa and Mastercard and all these other. We just saw recently there was an announcement that Visa is going to utilize Solana's USDC, and I'm pretty sure in the future they will start adding support for more Web3 networks like this. And Hedera and other networks are going to become basically payment rails for this specific use case. Hedera can be used for so many other things as well, but it's just going to be a payment rail similar to Visa. And if merchants start integrating support for those kinds of payment rails, or Visa somehow integrates with Hedera and they make that process even easier, that's going to happen in the future. So in the short term, I can see online shops and websites that have products. It will be much easier to just connect your hashpack and securely sign the transactions with your card wallet. That will be the easier step in the short term. In the long term, once this whole thing catches on, the stable coin and digital currency payment methods start to catch on, and merchants even realizing that they have more control over their funds when they accept payments through USDC, because immediately it settles into their account and they don't have to wait days until they receive the payment for the products that they have sold. Once they see the value, once there is more tooling built around this networks like Hedera, I can definitely see payments through this kind of a card in a physical store, like you mentioned. Go to the store, tap, and buy your Nike shoes. You're good to go. And all in a non-custodial way. You're your own bank. You're controlling your own funds. So I think that that's the dream that everybody in crypto is looking forward to. I hope that's exactly how it happens in the future.
You know, you made a good point. You made a good point about the form factor of the card, right? Because when we think about it, every wallet, every purse has those credit card slots. I mean, that's what we're used to. And so the portability of that card is already built in. And you know, just the ease of use and the facility that we have already with credit cards, debit cards, these kinds of things will really help to bolster, I think, adoption, right? Particularly
Mhm.
for just mainstream ordinary folks who are not quite familiar with the technology. But let's talk also about custom cards. What about custom cards? And could I get one?
Yes, that's going to be the fun part with these cards. Imagine if you just want to have, I mean, they're doing with the traditional cards as well. You can have your special custom design printed on the card. It is not anything complicated or revolutionary. This is something that the those plastic card manufacturing houses fully support. And it's just fun to customize things and personalize things. And we'll definitely in the future have an option of people maybe uploading their custom image, whatever they want to be printed on the front of the card, and that's how it's going to be manufactured. Obviously, there will be a fee associated with the custom card. It will be more expensive, but that's definitely something possible. And also, I'm excited about collaborating with some of the projects in the community. And if they want to have a pack of 100 cards issued with their limited art on it from their NFT collections, that could be a very fun a way of gamifying and also engaging the community of those projects as well. So there's a lot of ways to go about this. This is the stuff that gets really exciting. Gets me really exciting, and yeah, we'll do it when the wallet is out. There's nothing complicated about this. It will definitely come.
I really see this as the sky is the limit moment because, you know, we're building on a scalable, secure ABFD, uh, you know, high throughput, low transaction fee, best DLT on the planet with a governing council that is multinational in scope. And we're building the hardware wallet for this network. To me, it's just tremendous, Andy. Just
Mhm, mhm.
tremendous. And, you know, I could just see, you know, with every, you know, onboarding package, you know, some member of the council will have wallet cards as part of their security. That's just my vision looking forward into the future, because no one else is doing this, right?
Yeah,
Citadel,
yeah.
and I think that's a tremendous opportunity. And again, I say, you know, nobody else could have done it but you, because you've got the skill set, you've got the kind of mindset, the approach, the attention to detail. Uh, just tremendous. We're living history right now, community. Living history. Right.
It's really exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm not in any rush to run to the council members or these big companies and start talking about the product yet. I do want to get it to a prototype stage where we can get the wallet in the hands of people, start beta testing. That's when everybody will start paying attention to this project. Until this point, it's been just head down building with the support of the community, with the early pre-orders of the wallet. And that is going to get us to the point where now it's going to be impossible to ignore this project. And like you said, there's nobody that does what we're doing. And my vision this whole time has been not just developing a single hardware wallet, but developing full ecosystem of secure devices, and bringing the security aspects and digital identity, and being able to identify what product has what is associated with what kind of account on this trusted immutable network. That movement is slowly picking up everywhere, I would say, but it's going to be scalable and really possible to achieve on Hedera network, because the network itself is enterprise grade in scale. And that's the goal, creating a whole ecosystem of secure products. And based on all the experience and learnings pulled from developing this secure hardware wallet and the card wallet, we can apply that experience to so many other products. And people will hear about this stuff in the near future. What else we have in mind in terms of long-term vision? That it will take time to get there, but we want to make sure we go step by step and build the products that will bring trust and confidence into our project and product, and then also uh, reputation. So these big companies and corporations start paying attention and really thinking about how they can utilize something like this in their applications and use cases.
Beautiful. So we are now halfway through our time together, and as we mentioned at the top, we were going to give opportunity for community members to ask questions or to make comments. Andy, you're at the controls. If someone wants to come up, we sure would want to hear from you. If
Yeah,
not,
that.
I would take questions from the Discord.
Yeah, simply just request to speak at any point in the next half hours. Once I start seeing the requests coming in, I'll definitely approve, and you're good to go. You can ask any questions or comments you have. If there are no questions at this point, we can continue the discussion and answer some other questions that we have collected from the community. But yeah, feel free at any point to request to speak. Everybody's welcome. I see John wants to join. Hello, John. Welcome. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, welcome.
Hi, this is Johnny.
Hey, John.
I'm the guy MJOH on the Discord channel. I just love this project, and I don't know what to do. I check in on this thing every time I get a chance, and I'm so excited to be a part of this. And I just look forward to our future, and I'm just gonna keep on holding on to everything that I got, because I know with Andy's skills, with Peggy's talent on writing, I know I'm on to something good here. So I appreciate you all. I love the Citadel project, and I just look forward to our future.
Thanks to you as well, John. I just want to let the community know that you're one of our Discord mods. You've been helping on the Discord side of things, and your energy, your positivity on the project has been just inspiring and motivating to me as well, and from anybody else in the community who come with positive words about the project, and that really helps to push the project even more forward. But for all the work you do on Discord and active, and also spreading the word on Twitter, letting everybody know about the NFT collection and the wallet and all the wallet characteristics and details all the time, is you've been doing an amazing work in helping the project. So well appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. This project is really fueled by the community, by them standing by the work, spreading the word. It is a grassroots project, and something that I believe with my whole heart that we'll be exceedingly proud of in years to come. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, we have another speaker. Welcome, William. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good.
Cool. So I had a couple questions. So, like in the future, when the Citadel Wallet rolls out, if I were to use a DEX like Saucer Swap Labs, would I be able to use that with the security of the Citadel Wallet, or would it have to be separate?
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to support smart contracts on Hedera network, and Saucer Swap is one of the leading, if not the leading, DEX on Hedera network based on smart contracts. And once we support the smart contract signing, yeah, of course you can go. That's our goal for people to be able to go on the DEX and sign any swaps and providing liquidity and all the activities that go into the DEX. Yeah, so the short answer is, yeah, you definitely will be able to sign transactions on Saucer Swap and interact with the DEX.
Okay, cool. And then one more question. Like, I'm pretty certain that the Citadel Wallet's going to be the most secure in the future. So I want to be able to hold like all of my digital assets, including like other ISO compliant cryptocurrencies. Is that possibility going to open up, or is this wallet going to be specifically for HBAR and like this ecosystem?
Good question. Starting, we're going to support Hedera network specifically. We do have plans, so it's going to be Hedera network, but not just HBAR. All the token economy that's coming to Hedera, all the tokens, NFTs. There's a lot of tokenization of real world assets that are happening on Hedera. So all of those will be supported, but in the context of Hedera network itself. In the future, after launching the wallet, the first version will be supporting just Hedera, but in the future, we are thinking about adding other networks that make sense.
Yeah.
Networks with real world utility. I can see there's a lot of networks and great communities surrounding these projects that have a good potential in the future. So as the project evolves and as we have more capabilities on the financial side as well, we'll definitely start thinking about adding our support for other networks as well. But networks that make sense, really.
Yeah. Great to hear. Thank you, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the good questions.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, I don't think we have any more speakers. Peggy, if there's any more questions you can from the community you have collected, you can ask them.
Absolutely. So we had a question from Blockchain Toro, one of the OGs in the community. And I think it's a question that many of us are wondering about. And he writes about the price of the Decent hardware wallet and wondering what will be the approximate price of the Citadel Card Wallet, taking into account the hardware wallet is expected to be around 150 USD.
Yeah, pricing, we haven't provided any pricing information on the card wallet. Understandably, it's still just an announcement of the product, and it will be coming in 2024, probably middle or late 2024. In terms of pricing, there's not going to be any surprises. The pricing that you see in the current market for the card wallets, these are very cheap compared to the hardware wallet. It's just a plastic card with the secure chip embedded in it. The fact that we're using a later technology, secure element, that might affect the price slightly, but I can't see it being over $30 a card. So between $20 to $30 would be the price of the card. And our hardware wallet itself is compatible with very competitive with the market pricing as well. Consider with our hardware wallet having way more features than any other hardware wallets in the industry. We have a touch screen, we have a color screen, we have USB Bluetooth support, we have a battery, high capacity battery inside, sleek, it's beautiful looking. So we could go even more expensive if we wanted to, but we wanted to make sure that in this small ecosystem, in this small community, everybody can afford it, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how the market grows, how the ecosystem grows. The pricing might adjust in the future, but people who are getting into it this early on are definitely going to get the wallets at very good prices.
Thank you, Andy. You mentioned earlier about if the card is lost and the user doesn't have or has lost their keys, then there's no recovery because it's self-custodial or non-custodial, I should say. What about if the chip is damaged? How are we going to safeguard that from happening if you have constant use? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the user experience in terms of setting up the wallet is going to be very similar to when you're setting up your software wallet. So whenever you get the new wallet, you tap on the back. There will be a process to set up this wallet and assign an account ID to that specific wallet card that you received. And during that process, you will set the PIN for the wallet. You will see the recovery phrase on your mobile device. You will have to record it, write it down somewhere securely. And if something happens to the chip, you always have that backup phrase. You will be able to either get a new card and recover on the new card itself, or you could recover the same account on your hardware wallet if you wanted to. So the process will be very familiar to setting up any other software wallet.
Okay.
It actually will be slightly simpler than hardware wallet because your interaction is with the mobile device directly, which has much larger screen. With the hardware wallets, the screen is much smaller, so we have to get really creative on the ways we present the information to the user, so they don't have to take too many steps to set up their new wallet. But yeah, card wallet will be a very seamless process.
Okay, thank you for that. So here's a question from Reiko. He writes, as a form of theft protection, my bank will only allow me to tap up to a certain amount of purchasing items. Will there be a limit on the amount you can tap at a merchant with a Citadel wallet card?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So if I understand, it was cutting in and out your voice.
Should I repeat it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, can you repeat it?
Absolutely. So Reiko writes, as a form of theft protection, my bank will only allow me to tap up to a certain amount at a time when purchasing items. Will there be a limit on the amount you can tap at a merchant with a Citadel wallet card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is another great question. So the difference between this non-custodial card wallet and the traditional card wallet is that the bank actually has direct communication with your wallet whenever you swipe somewhere or tap or try to make the payment. They immediately know that this card is trying to make the payment, and if they can check what the amount is, they can check everything real time on their back end, because this is not the traditional cards. It's not your account. It's kind of your account, but in their systems. It's fully controlled by their systems. So they have complete visibility of all the transactions, every single location you use this wallet. They can see that as well. That's why whenever you travel really far and try to make a payment, a red flag comes up on their side. How come you used it 1 hour ago in this state and now you're using another state? So they can control and check those kinds of things. With a non-custodial wallet, you're in full control of your account. So you need to be responsible for the payments that you're making. That's why right now I'm saying in the future, I think people will put very limited amount of crypto on their cards, a non-custodial card wallet themselves, because if somebody steals the wallet, they have no control over how much they can spend from it. the only protection there is the PIN. If somebody steals your wallet and doesn't know the PIN to this wallet, they won't be able to use it. And that's the only protection that's put on this wallet in terms of interfacing with merchants or any other online merchant system. In the future, I believe there will be a lot of infrastructure built around this to make sure that you have insurance, you have extra protections. The merchant maybe has some kind of information about the account ID that you own, and every time that card is swiped or tapped somewhere, you receive an email saying that, hey, you're trying to make this payment. Is this really you? There could be all kinds of different things down there, but if the merchant is not checking, once you tap that card, it will make the payment, it will sign the transaction. So the approach will be very different, but I'm sure as the industry matures, those kinds of tools and protections will be put in place eventually.
Okay. We also got a couple of questions about how we plan to sell and distribute the cards. So King Crypto asked, how are we going to go about selling it? And also 70 Dwarves asked, he writes this, he says, previous, or, even today, if you go and you buy an Ice, Fire, or Nature Night, you'll get a corresponding number of wallets, right? Wallet NFTs created for the physical hardware wallet. Will Citadel include card wallet NFTs as well? And he asks, will I be allowed to choose a standard wallet or a card wallet when the time comes?
Yeah, that was actually a really good idea I hadn't thought about. Obviously, it doesn't make sense for someone who owns the Ice Knight that they can claim the hardware wallet, which is worth $150, to go claim a single card wallet. That wouldn't be fair and wouldn't make sense. But it would make sense if the card is $30 and 5 cards is worth $150. If someone wants to claim just the cards themselves and use one of the cards on daily basis and use the rest as a backup cards, that's definitely an option we can offer. For the night holders, though, we are going to have special discounts and announcements very soon for the cards themselves. So people who own the nights, they will get a lot of privileges and benefits from getting access to these cards, but also getting really discounted price access to these cards. So once that we announce these things in the white paper version 2, people might I don't want to reveal too much, but people might not even think about claiming a card wallet instead of a hardware wallet. There will be a lot of options and benefits for night holders.
Right, because one of the other questions was about rev share for night holders, but of course the wallet cards are purchased separately, right?
Yeah, the card wallet is separate. The rev share is for the hardware wallet itself. From all the cells of the hardware wallet, small portion, and that will be also included in the upcoming Guardians of the Citadel white paper version 2. But yeah, small portion of that rev share of those cells will go to night holders, but not the card itself.
So I see Raj 5755 is on. Hey, he asked, when is the date for the white paper version 2 release? We're all waiting.
Great question. I know everybody has been. I was hoping to get the white paper out sooner, but things are getting delayed, and there is a couple of more announcements that I do want to make before we release the white paper, because some of the information about those announcements is included in the white paper. So I don't want to spoil that information for people until we get there. There is one more major announcement coming. So Card Wallet is the second product, kind of mysterious product that we revealed this week. There is another announcement coming for another. I I don't know how to say not to give
Just
ideas about what exactly it is,
you just
but
say
yeah,
it.
yeah, and another product line, services and solutions product line is announcement is going to come in probably approximately in about 2 weeks, and then after that we'll be able to release the white paper and also um, ha- um, release the brand new website. So we have completely updated the website in the back end. It will have a new look, very slick, very simple look. We'll have different pages for different products we're offering, and also, of course, our night, the page is specifically dedicated to the nights. And yeah, so until we do all of those, we cannot release the white paper. But I'm hoping um, early October probably is the date.
You know, Andy, I think the world of you, and really appreciate you as an H barbarian and as a friend. But you've been doing a lot of tweeting and a lot of teasing about some announcements. Uh, is this the best we can expect from you today in terms of what's coming up? Anything else on the burner that you want to share?
Yeah. So one exciting thing actually that's coming is so two things I can share today. So one is that mysterious product that's coming. I cannot say much about that. We'll learn about that in 2 weeks. So two other exciting things. We are getting the wallet's firmware and software to a version in the next couple of weeks where we can actually assemble the full wallets and start shipping out the wallets to some community members, like regular active community members who hold the knights from our collection. They will get a chance to get their hands on the wallet and firsthand the beta version of the wallet, firsthand play with it, experiment with it, create accounts, sign transactions. This is the beta version, so we'll be very clear that don't put too much H bar in there. Maybe like throw 5 H bars in there, maybe a cheap NFT here and there. Play with it. Maybe go on the DEX, sign transactions, things like that. So people get feel like this is actually happening. This is not us just writing blog posts about and promising things. We have actually built the wallet, and the firmware is very close to being finalized. But even before getting to that final stage, we want to get something out to the community so everybody can start playing with it, maybe share in the community, in Hedera ecosystem from our community members, so it becomes more tangible, it becomes more real in the eyes of the community members. So that's one really exciting thing that's coming. I'm hoping, I was really shooting for middle of this month, but again, software development is tricky. There's bugs here and there that need to get resolved, and probably pushed to the end of the month. And the second exciting thing is in October, there is a big event being planned in LA, actually, in downtown LA. It's called Hello Future Live from Hello Future Buzz. She's another long-term community member and supporter of Hedera ecosystem, doing a lot of great things for the community, doing spaces, inviting guests. And she's putting together this whole in-person event in LA where a lot of people from the community, projects from the community are going to be there, wallets, gaming projects, NFT projects, DEXs. Also, representatives from Hedera, Swirls Labs, Dr. Lyman Baird, and Mans Harmon are going to be there. Even some enterprise projects, bigger projects, representatives are going to be there. And we have secured a space for Citadel Wallet at that event. I'll be there in person. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of community members in real life, finally. Talk to community members, talk to Lehman and Mans and everybody who's interested in learning more about the wallet. We'll do some demos there, show the product in person. Maybe I'll gift one to Lehman, this early version, and that would be a special moment. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. Again, in-person event. I haven't done one of those, being since I've been in this ecosystem, not because I don't want to, but because I just didn't have time. Personal life, full-time job, building the project, being active in the community. There have been just so many things going on, but I'm really happy this is happening in LA, very close to me. And we're going to have a big presence there as well. Really try to steal the show and show this community what we're capable of building. Really highlight Hedera as a strong network. So yeah, that's the second really exciting thing coming.
That's and I know that we are all going to be looking forward to those live pics, and those live videos of Citadel front and at Hello Future Live. And now that you've announced that, Andy, we're going to make sure that we promote this event. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, definitely you want to put this on your calendar so you stop in, say hello to our founder, Andy Kulikian, aka H-Bar to the Moon. We're almost done, Andy. These lives always are. They go by so quickly, and there's always so much to talk about. Just want to hold your feet to the fire for one more minute, if you'd allow. Want to read a little something from the blog. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the Medium blog, I want to encourage you to do so. It's not because I write them, but because Andy and I collaborate, and these are really thoughtfully done. This is where you'll get in-depth information and often the full extent of the announcement right there in that Medium blog. Andy, I'm going to go back again. You said that we are exploring some intriguing use cases for these secure cards that have never been attempted before. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, what the vision of that is for us?
Yeah. So when I started looking into this cards, I've always been a big collector, big fan of collecting things, not just art, but in life, just collecting like movies or music albums and things like that. I think everybody can resonate with that. When things become digital, the physical aspect of things kind of starts to disappear. It's fun to collect digital art and digital NFTs, but the physical collectibles are also a lot of fun because you actually have it on your desk, or you have a wall where you shelves, you line up all of your books or collectibles or CDs or whatever. Those are kind of going away. So this is still very early stages, but this secure card wallets, one of the applications we talked about was payments, but they can be used in so many different ways. This is actually almost like the card itself is shows and proves an ownership of something. So there could be a lot of collaborations and partnerships with big entertainment industries and corporations and organizations to issue certain collectibles in form of these cards with special art printed on them that shows the proof of that you own this movie, or you own this label, or you own this and that. And every time you want to get access to that movie or music, you will be able to prove with this card that you actually own it. It's almost like the CD, but in a way slightly different than a CD. Or the movie or the music is going to be in the cloud. With this card, you're just able to show the proof of owning that movie and owning the rights of watching that movie. So this could be something really interesting in the future to do. Plus, people like you can have limited. These companies, these organizations can have limited arts, collectibles printed on the cards, limited editions. Just make it even more fun and engaging for their consumers and customers. So that's something
Andy,
I've been.
I can think of at least immediately 5 projects that I would love to have their artwork on a card,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I love the artwork, and I would love to have it on a card that I could use every day, and I would swap them around depending on how I feel. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. We can get really creative with this. That's why I didn't want to include too much details in the
Yeah,
blog post about that. But
yeah.
I'm brainstorming. I'm thinking about this. The possibilities are endless, even in music industry. I mean, the music industry is having a lot of hard time breaking into Web3 because they don't really understand how Web3 works, and they're doing a lot of things in a wrong way. I believe you cannot really mint music, in my personal opinion, because music is owned by the artist. You once you mint it on the chain, then everybody can listen to that music. So what's the benefit of the artist? That's one music in their whole career. They might come up with just a single music, and now when they mint it on the blockchain, everybody can get access to it, and they don't get any value out of that music. It doesn't solve any of the music industry problems. But music the NFTs created should be more like the albums, the rights to listen to that music. That the music is stored somewhere that the artist themselves has control over. So I think the whole approach of Web3 has been wrong on the music side of things. Here and there, you can maybe mint music on the directly on the network, but for it doesn't make sense for the artists. Same for the books, same for anything that has copyright associated with it. But if you have a card that proves the ownership of accessing to that music or book or movie, and that card is limited, collectible with a special art on it, and you have this sense of being part of this movie or this creation from early days, or supporter of this music artist from the early days, that could be something special. So yeah, we will definitely think about coming up with some creative ways of using the cards in the future. That's not just boring payments.
We are just at the beginning, at the very beginning, early stages of where this technology will go. I was reading an article about robotics and how, you know the first generation of uh, robots are like anthropomorphic in that they are like humans, because all of our machines are meant to be driven or used by humans. And as we go forward, they're going to be more advanced, and they will lose actually the kinds of uh, features that we have as human beings, and they'll be more efficient. And so same thing with the card. We are just starting to understand or to expand our vision, and our understanding of what is capable. And just so grateful, Andy, to be on this journey with you, my friend, a visionary, detail oriented. You know what you're about, and just really appreciate all your hard work and sacrifice. Is there any last words from anyone in the space, or you yourself, as we come to close?
Thanks a lot for the great words, Peggy. Grateful to have you on board as well. Grateful to have met so many people in the community and getting to know them, and now getting to know them also in person. In a lot of cases, talking to
Mhm.
different projects on virtual calls, seeing actually putting the face behind the logos of their accounts. And it's been a great experience. Great to have everybody, including you, Peggy, part of this project, supporting it, believing in it, seeing that we're not actually just about hype. We're trying to build the product and then hype the product, hype the substance, as a lot of Hedera ish barbarians like to say. And it's just we're just getting warmed up. This is going to open up some really exciting opportunities, not just for our project, but I think also for Hedera as a whole. Once people in other from other industries or from Web3 start seeing what's possible to achieve, even through hardware wallets on the network, I think it will drive more people to the network and bring more value to the network itself. So that has been the goal.
Amen. So for those who are on, be an evangelist, be an enthusiast, spread the word. Don't leave others in the dark. To learn more about Guardians of the Citadel NFTs and Citadel Wallets, go to citadelwallet.io. You can also join us in the Citadel Discord or on Twitter at Citadel Wallet. Don't forget also, those pre-orders are still live at headstarter.org. Get yours today. And until next time, we will see you in the Discord. Bye now.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Peggy.